Dawn's back with her Boys Who Do Comedy now on BBC4, and tonight is cheeky chappy and possibly the worst waiter in show business, Graham Norton.
I was like a meerkat. I was like, okay, finished. No, could I interest you in a bucket?
Graham,
Yes.
Walker.
Oh, yes.
Was there a lot of laughs in your household when you were growing up? Was your mum funny or your dad?
It's funny, when my dad died, suddenly everyone came out of the woodwork to say he was the funniest man who'd ever lived. I don't remember him like that. I remember he did tell some quite funny stories. But in my head, my mother's very funny. But then her humour is quite, it's quite harsh. She doesn't suffer fools gladly.
Okay.
And my sister kind of has a similar sense of humour. So I think the three of us we share more of a sense of humour than my dad did.
Okay. And when you went to school, can you remember performing at school at all?
I don't think, I might be wrong, but I don't think people who were at school with me would ever describe me as the class clown or any... School was such a... just something to be done, I felt. It was like, right, I've just got another 3 years, I see by my watch, and then I'll be out of here.
It was just,
yeah, it was just... hate is too big a word, but I endured it.
So you went to America?
I did.
And you didn't go to any further education, you went straight from...
Oh, no, I did stop by
Yes.
University College Cork. And I did do 2 years there, and then left. My reasoning being that you could just lie about having a degree from University College Cork.
Right. I've lied about my O-levels throughout my whole life. I think I got about 4. I've just pretended I had 11.
No, because who's going to check O-levels? Who's going to check a degree?
Yeah.
If I said I went to Oxford and got a first, someone might bother to check that.
Yes.
But, a BA Hons from UCC. Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Yeah, and you did some of it.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
But then you just sort of gave that up, went off to America, and am I right in thinking that you went to San Francisco?
Yes.
And did you live in a hippie commune?
It is all true.
How did that happen then?
It was to do with economics. In that, like some people are an economic vegetarian and they can't afford to buy meat. I was an economic hippie in that I couldn't afford to pay normal rent. So I was in this commune where I rented a room, and I was so much younger than all the rest because they were proper hippies.
And you were welcomed in? You didn't have to be checked out for hippiness?
Oh, no, you did have to go be checked in. You had to go for a dinner, and you sat around the infinity table, which was 2 round tables with a basic, it was like...
It was very frightening.
No, it was like two round tables made out of old big electrical cable things, electric spool tables.
Okay, yes.
And then they had a bit you go in the middle, so there was no beginning end. No one sat at the head of the table.
Okay.
There was no hierarchy around the table.
Yeah.
And...
Did you love that?
What, sitting around the table?
No, just the whole thing about a commune. I sort of wish I'd lived on a commune or gone to a kibbutz or something.
It was good for me. Because I came from a small town Ireland, so I was so conservative. So I arrived at this place, well, clearly these are idiots. This is nonsense, but I need the room.
But
so
it's free.
It's more or less.
But didn't you have to do commune things?
Oh, you had to do chores and things.
Yeah.
And I had to cook, which was
no.
so awful. They hated it. I mean, it must have been such a black day. When they went, who's cooking tonight? Oh. Because I was 20 years old. And said I'm cooking for like 12 people.
Yeah.
So things like, so salads in California, back then it was just gorgeous, alfalfa sprouts and beans and nuts and pulses and seeds. Well, I learned how to do a salad by my mother. So that would be, leaf of lettuce, 2 slices of cucumber, 2 slices of beetroot, maybe a slice of boiled egg, if you were lucky, and then some nice salad cream on top of that.
Or bread.
That'd be a salad.
Yeah.
That's a salad. I was awful. In the end, I could make a kind of tuna noodle casserole, and I think I made some soup.
How long did you last there?
I was there for over a year.
Dear God.
I know. That's a lot of tuna noodle.
That is. And did you have to murder anyone? Was that a requirement?
No, but some of the communes we were in touch with were more sinister than ours. Ours seemed very just happy-clappy nice. But there was one called something Village. And that had this guy in charge, and he was very strict, and we were all a bit frightened of him. And he had rules, like basically he could sleep with anyone in his commune.
I love those rules, don't you?
Yeah.
That's the rule in my house. In my commune.
Yeah, accept a dinner invitation at your peril.
Yeah.
You know what happens now.
I'm in charge.
But and he had a thing where there was no foreplay.
Yeah.
Obviously that bored him, so he just wrote a rule. No foreplay now.
And while you're in the commune, are you creating gags? Are you making people laugh? Are you the only Brit?
Oh, absolutely the only Brit. But I think probably I wasn't making people laugh there, but then I was working in a restaurant in the financial district downtown. So a totally different set of people, you know, who live in condos and were saving up for cars and getting married. So I probably made them laugh about the hippie commune, rather cruelly.
So you knew it was a sort of preposterous thing you were doing?
Yes, but they won me over in the year. They really did. I left, not quite a believer, but I saw the value of what they believed. And I knew that I didn't have the courage of their convictions. I couldn't commit to that life. But I did see the value of it in the end. And I came back to Ireland sort of promising myself that I wouldn't just mock them. Because it is like shooting fish in a barrel to mock, you know, aging hippies in that house.
Yes.
And I'm doing it slightly now.
And yes. But still quite nice.
Yeah, and hey, it's been 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're allowed to shoot them now.
Yeah.
So then you went to Central?
Yeah, then
you came back?
they told me, follow your dream, went to Central.
And sorry, your dream was what? To
to be an actor. I wanted to be an actor. And I thought I was going to be a serious actor. This is all going to be marvellous. And of course, the minute you get to drama school, you realise that I can't do any serious acting at all. I'm really rubbish. You know, and you know, because they give everyone a chance at the serious roles. So, you know, I'm playing Oswald in Ghosts. And the director, I know. And the director is, you know, because at the beginning he's supposed to be an artist and he's painting his mother. And the director's note to me was, Graham, you don't look like an artist, you look like a window dresser. And he wasn't wrong.
No.
He wasn't wrong. But I then discovered that, like, in improvisations, I would always go for the gag. Because I call it, oh, nothing's happening, let's make it funny. Let's have something funny happen in the room. And I also, that's cheating. That's cheating. But then you realise, oh, a lot of these dreary people can't, nothing funny ever comes into their room.
Yeah.
It's always, you know, something awful, you know.
So would the other students on your year at Central say that you were the funny guy in the course then?
One of them. Yeah, there were a few of us that were funny. And it was almost seen like cheating because we found it easy. Whereas the others were, you know, locked in the toilet crying.
Well, perhaps you weren't allowing yourself to go through the break them down, build them up business that goes on there.
No. I was one of the mad people in... some old play. And
at Central.
Yeah. And we had to each, you know, it was a very serious director, and we had to develop our madness, you know, what had driven us mad, what sort of psychosis, blah, blah, blah. So we all did this very seriously, and they actually got someone from a mad place to come and look at us. So we're all rolling around the floor being mad, and I had something about cleaning shoes or something. I was obsessive compulsive. So they made us do it for like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, a long, long time. And so we're all doing it. And then at the end, the director goes, okay, and that's enough. Me, I was like a meerkat. I was like, okay, finished. And then I hear his voice go, okay, take a few minutes to come out of it. I was like, oh, okay. And I was so busted that I'd just been cleaning some shoes for 2 hours.
We had to be born out of an egg. You may not have had to do this. This is maybe only the teachers. We had to build a newspaper egg around ourselves with sellotape and...
What, an actual egg?
An actual egg and be inside it.
Oh, I thought you were imagining the egg.
No.
No.
Imagining teachers? I don't think so.
But also, where's the acting in that? You were just being born in an egg.
The acting, I think you'll find, the acting was, as we came out of the egg, we were allowed to be a new person, a new character. Do you see?
I do.
But I couldn't take that seriously at all. Because also, how long are you supposed to stay in the egg? How long? It's a bit sweaty. And you're listening out for other people. And, you know, I could never get into any of the zones that you're supposed to get into to be an actor. Although, I mean, they weren't even trying to make us actors, but I knew that if you shone at that bit at the egg, you know, being
go,
born,
"Ooh,
yeah,
hello."
yeah, there's a chance. When did the comedy stuff start to happen then?
Because I failed so miserably when I got out of drama school. It all went well in that I got an agent and all that sort of stuff. And I got a first job fairly quick. And then nothing. And I hated it. It was just a miserable existence being an actor. And even when I got the jobs, I didn't enjoy them very much. Because, at Central, you're trained to be a star. You're not trained to be, that person over there comes in with one line. But of course you are that person with one line, and it's not much fun. And I was working in restaurants, and working in restaurants is when I really started being a sort of a clown and messing around and
To earn tips, or just because you thought it was good fun?
with the staff. But occasionally I was funny
okay.
with customers. Mostly I was just vile to customers. They were the downside. They were an annoyance.
Yes.
I suppose you'll want some food. Yeah. I was having a perfectly good time over there.
With my friends, the staff.
Yeah.
Who find me amusing.
So, yes. I'm sorry you don't. I'm sorry you think I'm a bit smart alecky and slow.
And you're hungry.
Yeah. I know. I'm like, where's our food? I assume it's in the kitchen. Do you have it? I don't. It'll be in that big hot room. So that was what, and I used to do this thing where, because we had to do a lot of polishing glasses, and of course very unhygienic, but I would often put the tea towel on my head and pretend to be Mother Teresa.
Lovely.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And then friends of mine owned this pub where someone was working behind the bar, and there was a gallery space upstairs, and I got it into my head that I was going to put on a show upstairs. And I mentioned it to Mike, who owns the place, and suddenly somebody came up to me and went, "Oh, I hear you're doing a show, and he had a date." He was like, on March the 27th or something. Yes, I am. And so...
You're cornered.
I had to do it. So I got two friends in to be little sisters, and then I put on this show, which lasted about 30 minutes, called Mother Teresa of Calcutta's Grand Farewell Tour.
And were you in the tea towel?
I was in the tea towel with an entire outfit made out of Irish linen tea towels, sewn by myself.
All talking?
I was talking. It was essentially like an Irish housewife, because, slightly based on fact, Mother Teresa learnt her English in Dublin, when she studied in Dublin.
Did she?
Yeah.
So was this the premise of your show?
No.
No.
Premise is a big word for my show.
Yeah.
That was sort of, the character was that she was sort of a vile, sort of pretty right-wing Irish Catholic housewife.
And who came to see the show?
Friends.
Only?
Friends only.
Did they pay?
They did.
Was this your first paid gig then?
Yes, it would have been absolutely my first paid gig. A lady called Judith Dimond came, and she had something to do with the Pleasance in Edinburgh, the venue in Edinburgh. And so I'd done it like once. And I got this call from Judith Dimond saying, "Oh, there's been a cancellation, a midnight show for 10 nights in the cabaret bar. Do you want to do it?" So I had maybe 30 minutes with two little sisters padding. And I went, yes, I'd love to do that.
This is an hour slot?
Yeah. Madness. So I went up and did this thing for 10 days. Very few people came. Mostly the staff at the Pleasance came. But I got a couple of good reviews. And on the basis of that, I came back to the Pleasance the next year.
And had you written something by then?
Yes, I know I'd written something by then. That was Mother Teresa of Calcutta, The Journey Home. That was that one. And then the year after that was basically stand-up. But I was still not saying I was a stand-up.
Why not?
I was terrified of being a stand-up. Being a stand-up seemed like a proper job.
Yeah.
A really skilled, proper job.
Yeah.
And then enough people said to me, "Look, you moron, you're still working in restaurants. You've got all this stuff. You've got the stage. Do some stand-up." So I started going out for gigs. And it was a really steep learning curve, because actually it is different doing a stage hour in Edinburgh, even if it is just talking and jokes, to doing 20 minutes in a big drunk pub, and they haven't come to see you, and there's no commitment to you because someone's going to come on after you and hopefully they're going to be better because we've decided we hate you. But I did sort of learn fast, and I was never a very good stand-up, but I was a competent stand-up. I was quite a good compere, that's what I enjoyed doing most, was getting acts on and getting acts off. And
so little bite-sized chunks.
Yeah, being a bit funny and also messing with the audience so that messing with the audience doesn't look quite as lazy when you're the compere. But if you're doing 20 minutes and 15 of it have been chatting to a woman in a pink jumper, you've got to think, really, he's been paid? I apparently hadn't prepared anything. And I hadn't.
But you do understand that most people would find that part the most scary part. The improvising, in other
yes,
words.
but most people who decide to be a stand-up have some jokes. I mean, it was, looking back, I kind of think I was incredibly, well, not brave, just stupid. That is that thing, isn't it? The difference between kind of being brave and stupid is very...
A thin line.
Very thin line.
Yeah, but it seems to me like you were swimming towards exactly what you're good at.
It never felt like that at the time. I mean, I used to keep saying to people, oh, well, eventually, hopefully, all these things I'm doing will kind of all coalesce into something that I can call a career. And in a way, they did.
Yeah. Do you think that, especially with stand-up, that you developed a sort of comedy persona that defined you or that trapped you in any way?
Yes, in a way, in that it was it was almost like that playground self-preservation thing where I'm going to do all the jokes before they start heckling. So I was so on top of the gay thing from the get-go. I would just come out and go blah, 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 and do all those jokes so that they couldn't, I felt, you can't touch me now because anything mean you were going to shout out, I've just shouted at myself.
Yeah, you got your defence bubble.
Yeah. And that became kind of my thing, and you become a gay comic, which, I couldn't argue with that title because I was. And that was what all my material was, basically. And then I just got so bored of every little bit of thing began with, the thing about being gay is gay. And it's like, oh, if I hear the word gay one more time, I will bottle myself.
I hate gay people!
Yeah, kill them all. So, and I think in a way, that was why I started all the talking to the audience, because it stopped me doing all this terrible gay material. And that's hard, because I'm still in that. In that a lot of my shtick is, I am camp, but I am gay and all those things. And it's trying, you're constantly trying to find ways of not denying that, because that's all true.
Just balancing it, maybe.
Yeah, trying to balance it,
Yeah.
trying to open it out. But it was a very useful thing in the beginning, because even though I wasn't as good a stand-up as lots of the other people on the circuit, I had more of a hook. And it was easier, I think, in a way, for producers who were watching stand-up to remember me or to imagine, oh, he'd be good at this. We want someone to do a 5-minute little film about, safe sex, or we'll get him to do it. And there's still a level of guilt where, I look at people who are still on the circuit, they didn't get the telly breaks, and I know, and they know I know, and they know that they are so much better than I am. And also by that stage, I kind of had a proper comedy agent. I'd left the acting agent, gone to a comedy agent. And so through them, I got the few guest spots in Father Ted. And it's odd, that thing, that you need a little bit of telly, and then people will give you more telly.
Yeah.
Everyone's scared to take a punt.
Yeah.
But because I'd read autocue, suddenly you're given a job where you're required to read autocue.
And were you writing what was on the autocue?
The first few jobs, yes, because there was nobody else to do it. But then when I started working on Channel 5, that was the first time I'd worked with writers. And it's a weird experience, because I felt very much that I was working for the writers.
Okay.
So they'd give me these jokes, and you'd kind of think, ooh, I hope I can get laughs with these. I don't want to let the writers down, but I'm really not hearing me saying that followed by a laugh, but here goes. And I would feel like I'd let the writers down if I wasn't getting jokes.
So these were not writers you'd employed then? These were
No, they were employed by the show, yeah.
Okay.
And actually, it's taken me a long time to feel comfortable working with writers.
Yeah.
Because I always feel not proper comedy enough. You know, it's a bit like going back to drama school. It's the stuff I find easy, which, you know, that's what I feel. I feel comfortable doing what I find easy.
Yes. So you don't think that that's a proper job then?
Well, kind of, but at the same time, I'm not one of those performers who's tormented and has to analyse, oh, this is my first choice, so it can't be the right one. I think it's my first choice. I'll go with that. I was probably right. I'll go with this, my first choice. You know, because so many performers, if they find it easy, they can't respect it, and they're tormented by it. And you want to explain to them, no, it's great that you find it so easy. That's what's good about you, is that other people will be trying for weeks to get anywhere close to that.
You obviously recognise that in yourself. I think
and that was
really
drama
great.
school. I think it was drama school made me realise that. But then on the flip side of that is it does make you feel inadequate for proper, what I would consider like proper jobs. You know, like if I write a joke, I'm very shy to bring it into a writer's room because you feel like, yeah, there's no structure to that joke, Graham. And I'm sort of thinking, yes, but they will. But if I say it, they'll laugh. I bet you. You know, and because of course then you sell it to the nth degree. Yeah. I'll finish it off by cutting off my hand, and oh look, huge reaction.
You don't still feel that, do you?
A bit.
But you're the reason they're writing the jokes now. So they're writing for you. It's not just for a presenter presenting a programme, presumably.
Yes.
And you've chosen them.
You know, and I do get on with the writers now.
Yeah.
And I use their material more than I used to, because I think that was the other problem, was because I thought, well, I can't do this, so they'd write it all and then I wouldn't use any of it. So now I do use more of it and I rely on it more. And I enjoy it too. I enjoy work. I like the process of working with writers now. I finally kind of feel at ease with it.
Have you ever picked on a celebrity or someone like that and never let go, like a terrier? Have you ever had gags about somebody that you just...
I did for a long time. Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas were big in my radar. But I felt...
Fair game.
I thought fair game because, look, they're, gazillionaires, they're talented, they're on holiday, they're in Hollywood rather, they're in love, they've got these lovely children. Now, if some shiny puff on the television, is driving them to the edge of despair, they need help. There's some sort of paradise syndrome going on there. Let them go. And I'm sure they don't enjoy it, and I'm sure Catherine Zeta-Jones's family in Wales don't enjoy it. But, she did marry a man older than her father. She broke a natural law.
She did. Have you ever been in trouble then? Have you ever misjudged something and had to...
We did do... see how... I've noticed this before. When people are have you ever, done a joke that blah, 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 I immediately start the reply with, we.
We, the other people that make me do things.
Yes. We, the writers and producers, I am merely their mouthpiece.
Just a puppet.
Yeah, I tried to stop them. They were hitting the back of my head and my mouth opened.
Yes, me mainly speaking. Yes.
We did do jokes about the dead BG the day he died.
Oh, okay.
And that was phenomenally stupid of us. Our only excuse was we'd been away, we'd been on holiday, so it was our first show back, and we were all a bit giddy and excited, and we made the sort of terrible jokes that were being made in offices up and down the land, and taxi drivers and passengers, all those people could do that. But I, moron, thought it would be fine on the day the man died to go on television and do those jokes.
So what happened as a result of that? And were you genuinely sorry?
Yes, I mean, because
you could see how...
No, because the next day we suddenly got the duty log, and you went, oh, actually, that man has relatives in this country. It's not, Oh, it all became, you suddenly realised, oh no, an actual human, a Bee Gee didn't die,
Yes.
a man died.
Yes.
And it was terrible.
Yes.
And you, of course, you apologise, but people, because you've said it out loud, it's very hard to eat your words.
But in all the hours and hours of lovely, frothy fun, you're bound to have a few moments like that.
Yeah, you're bound to.
Do you think you've been given gifts? Because obviously your brain works in a way that a lot of people's can't.
And you don't know how long your brain's going to work like that for.
No.
Like, I often think I might be going mad. Not mad, but just going a bit soft in the head. You know, not remembering words. And even in like a chat show thing where I'm doing an interview and I've thought of something, a sort of very quick thing to come back with. And suddenly at the last minute, I can't remember the key word in it. And you kind of, oh, that's very bad. So you kind of think, when it goes truly mushy, I must stop.
Do you think being funny makes you attractive?
No.
You've never been able to laugh somebody's Y-fronts off then?
I don't think so. I've probably, laughed them on, but that'd be about it. I mean, certainly, hey, being off the telly doesn't hurt. I have slept out of my league. Thanks to the great charisma of television.
Yeah.
But, it doesn't hurt. But being funny, I don't think anyone's... I think maybe in the straight world it works, but in gay world, it'll be like, ha, 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 fabulous new gay friend, I'll be going off with him now. Who you didn't speak to all night.
Yeah.
But somehow there was a kind of,
Mysterious.
Yes, while I'm laughing with you, I'm checking him out and now gone.
Are you attracted to people that are very serious, though? Aren't you attracted to funny people?
No, I'm attracted to good-looking people.
Bloody hell! Thank you for being honest there.
No, I do like funny people. I know, in fairness, everyone I've dated has made me laugh a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking that.
Yeah,
but happen to be beautiful.
No,
as
I've
well.
slept with beautiful people.
Yeah.
But the people I've dated have been funny.
Yeah. Okay, good. Who's your sternest critic?
Ooh. My mother is probably my sternest critic, in that there's no reasoning with her. You know what I mean? In that she's just, it's very, that was wrong, or I didn't like that. Or, so you'll pick up the phone after doing a show, and the absolute killer question is, how did you think it went?
Okay.
Yeah, that would be absolutely bad.
Whose approval do you seek?
The audiences, really. I mean, that is what it's all about. And that's why I'm only really comfortable working with an audience. I mean, doing film pieces, like we did some travel documentaries and things when I was at Channel 4. And really I did them because Yon, my producer, liked doing them. I find them really uncomfortable because I don't know how you do filming on location. I get the studio stuff because there are people sat in rows going, ha ha ha, Dawn, that was very funny. You are clever.
So it's validation via the audience.
You know it's all about validation. It's all about the vortex of
You are
news.
nothing without them.
Yes, we're just trying to fill a hole. That's all we're doing.
And then you might be Mr. Sad Tears of a Clown when you get home.
Oh dear.
That ain't you, is it?
Well, I think it might be the future. I do a vision of myself alone at 70, in my bed, dribbling soup down myself with the dog licking it off, cuddling BAFTAs. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Comedy orchestra.
Next tonight on BBC4, stay with us for an incisive look at Western filmmaking over the years. Rich Hall, comedian and Western devotee, explores how the West was lost. Next.
Ta-da-da-dum, ta-da-da-dum, ta-da-da-da-da-da-da.